We ready to go?
Yes, sir.
PD Hammonds is ready.
And Judge, I sent an email out to the attorneys in the court today. Did everybody see that about Ms. Brown, the caseworker?
I did see it.
Did that come to me?
I think I sent it to Rachel. I don't think I put you on it, Judge.
Do I need to see it?
Well,
No, you did copy the judge on it.
oh, did I?
That's why I didn't send it to her.
So, I arrested Ms. Brown was.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it.
But she's out right now. So, Sessions, her supervisor, is here.
All right. Gotcha. All right. So it looks like, but I want to just confirm we have Mr. Aguilar in by phone, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right.
Correct.
All right. This is a continuation of our final that we started. Well, let's see. Back, I believe, September 26th. We continued then on January 30th, and we still weren't done with testimony, so we've reset to try to finish this up today. Okay.
Judge, just for the record, we originally started this on 9/17.
All right. Sorry. I apologize if I looked at the wrong date. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Was it the 17th or was it the 12th?
We had a few different hearings in there. I believe we originally called and recessed this on the 17th, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. All right, then where we left off, Mr. Morales had called Ms. Fuentes, and I think we got through her. Is that correct, Mr. Morales?
I believe so. I mean, I finished my questioning. I don't know about everybody else. I'm pretty sure everybody else did too.
I think we did, Your Honor.
Yeah, I think we finished her up, and then that's when we recessed. So, okay, so Mr. Morales, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would call LaShonda Walker.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And would you state your full name for me, please?
LaShonda Aretha Walker.
Okay, Miss Walker. Are you biologically related to the children, the subject of these two suits?
Yes, I am.
And how are you related to these children?
I'm their maternal grandmother.
And are you currently Indiana's placement?
Yes, sir, I am.
Miss Walker, how old are you? What's your date of birth?
1977. I'm 47 years old.
And do you live in Amarillo?
Yes, sir, I do.
Who all lives with you?
I'm myself in Indiana.
Okay. And how long has Indiana been placed with you now?
Since September 16th of 2024.
Now, Indiana, has she lived with you in the past prior to this placement?
She has, yes. I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
And Your Honor, if this helps at all, I noticed she was sounding really good without video. I don't necessarily need it if you think the connection would help better.
Yeah, I think you actually were the one breaking up a second ago.
Right.
But we'll see how hers goes if she
Okay.
stays.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss Walker, so Indiana has lived with you for how many years of her life do you think she's lived with you?
I wouldn't say years, I would say months. This time she's been with me since September. And then whenever she was 3 or 4 years old, she was with me for 2 or 3 months. But other than that, I mean, she hasn't permanently lived with me.
Now, these months you're talking about, like she's been with you 2 or 3 months. Are you talking about the fact that she was with you without her mother?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Has Indiana ever lived with you while her mother was also living with you?
Oh, yes. I actually lived with them. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
did. Um, Whenever she was, yeah, 3 or 4, because I lived with them and then I moved and then she came to stay with me for 2 or 3 months after.
okay. Do you recall how long you lived with them?
Oh, probably a year or maybe a year and a half.
Okay. So do you think plus or minus you and Indiana have been in the same household overnight for at least 2 years of her life?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And what about the other two? How often have they ever had the opportunity to stay with you, or have you ever lived with them while they were alive? I mean, while they were born, I should say.
I have I have not lived with Egypt and Arrow. However, not permanently or anything like that. They did come and stay with me 4 months, I believe, while LaQuisha was waiting for housing um to come through.
Do you recall when that was?
Oh Lord. July of 2023. It was May, June, July. So probably April, May, June, and July.
And at that point, all three of Lakeisha and her children were living with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you feel like you're bonded pretty well to all three children?
Oh yes. And though
If
sometimes I feel like Arrow doesn't like me.
if allowed, would you be willing to have be placement for all three children to keep them together?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And do you think that your household would be able to accommodate that?
Oh yes,
Okay. A bed to sleep on?
I do. I actually have I probably need to upgrade, but I do have a bed for Egypt and I probably need to get a bed for Arrow since now she's outgrown a playpen. I mean a crib.
Are you employed at all?
I am, yes.
What are your typical hours at work?
I work Saturday and Sunday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. And who are you employed by?
Okay, we kind of lost her again here. While we're trying to get her back, did she say she works Saturday and Sunday?
Yes,
All right, what
yes.
time to 8?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay, and ma'am, you kind of froze up, so let's go ahead and try letting you turn your video off,
Okay,
and let's just see if that helps.
okay. Well,
There we go.
Miss Walker, yeah, and my last question was who you're employed by, and I don't think you got that answer.
okay, it's Rest Care, um, but they're also known by Educare and Bright Springs. I guess it all depends on where it's an office based out of Indiana, I believe.
Okay.
But then they have different branches, so they go by different names. But I personally, the office here in Amarillo is called Rest Care.
Okay. What type of work do you do?
I work with the special needs
Okay.
folks with IDD and disabilities and things like that.
Okay. And so you work two-hour or 12-hour shifts a week on Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Who do you have arranged to watch Indiana on the weekends when you're at work?
My mother will watch her or my aunt.
What's your mother's name?
Helen Stotts,
Okay. And what is your aunt's name?
Angela Walker.
Okay. And is it one more than the other, or is it pretty equal between depending on who watches Indiana while you're working?
It's more my mom because my grandsons are over here too, so she has someone to play with. When she's with my aunt Angela, it's just the two of them. So
Oh, I see. Um, Now, how do you feel? Um, Indiana's behaviors changed, if it's changed at all, while she's been placed with you?
It has changed actually. In the beginning, we had some problems at school, and she had some problems with discipline a little bit from myself, with myself, and with the school. And so myself and the school we've come up with a plan together to get her to kind of time herself out when she needs a break, when she's having a bad day, and things like that. And that has helped her thus far.
Um, was that based? I mean, were you getting recommendations from the school? Was there a professional at the school that was telling you, "Hey, let's get on the same page as far as her discipline," or was that something that you initiated yourself?
No, that was something that the school had brought to my attention. They said that Miss Brown had mentioned that when she was at a previous school, they had that plan in place, and she felt like it would work here at
Oh,
this school.
perfect. And did you require any kind of training for it, or was it something that you guys just discussed and went on, just basically got eye to eye on?
Yeah, no, it was just something we went eye to eye on. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Um, and since then, you say that her behaviors have improved. Miss Walker, did you hear my last question?
Can you hear me?
No, we
Yes,
can't.
you can.
Okay, now you're back.
Okay. So I was asking you, you said, but you said her behaviors improved. Specifically, can you mention how they improved? Was she having less tantrums? What was going on?
Yes, whenever she first came, there was an incident where she was very disruptive in the class, writing on the boards and things like that, just trying to disrupt the entire class. And that has improved because now we have put into place, when she's feeling any kind of anxiety coming on or anything like that, she can ask to go sit in the counselor's office. She can ask to go sit in the principal's office. She can ask to go get a drink of water, and everybody, that her teacher, the principal, the counselor, the secretaries, everybody knows that, and they communicate amongst each other. Hey, Indiana's coming to do this, or Indiana's going to do that. And that way she can go, and if she needs to relieve her frustration, she can. Another incident was where she tried to run out of the school. And that was an issue as far as myself and the officers there. And so, and they are also aware, the liaison officers at the school are also aware. But that was another thing that we needed to work on, was her being able to communicate openly with the adults at the school. And she didn't want to do that. She was shutting down. And so we had to get her to where she would open up and speak to not only myself, but the adults at the school.
Ah, I see. Thank you. And so you said she was having anxiety. Has she seen any doctors or specialists for this anxiety?
Not that I'm aware of. I know that she sees a counselor, a therapist, I should say, outside of school, and she sees her twice a month.
Did the issue of anxiety and what issues that might cause her behaviorally at school, has the school looked into that as far as any potential assessments?
No, whenever we sit and we talk to her, the main thing that we get from Indiana when it comes to her anxiety is that she is just really frustrated with the fact that she can't see her mom and her sisters.
Are you present when she does have the opportunity to visit her sisters?
Yes.
Is she bonded to her sisters?
Yes, very much so.
Is she bonded to her mother?
Yes, very much so. Absolutely.
When they lived with you, did Lucretia give you any concerns as to your grandkids' safety?
No,
Okay. Did you ever witness her smoking marijuana in front of the kids?
No, she was
Did,
not that bold.
did you ever observe her drinking alcohol around the kids?
No.
Okay. Did she appear to have had her home in an orderly fashion?
Yes, and I can tell you 9 times out of 10, I was helping her get it that way. I mean, you have two little ones at the time, 3-month-old and a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time. And so, yes, kids can be messy and you need some help, and I'm willing to help My aunt was willing to help. We all step in and help her when requested. A lot of times she didn't want to help, ask us for help. A lot of times we went in and said, too bad, so sad, we're going to help you anyway. So
Have you been around?
I lost you again.
Can you hear me, Miss Walker? Can everybody else hear me?
Mhm.
Okay.
Say it one more time.
Oh, Miss Walker, can you hear me? Hello? Miss Walker, are you there?
I can't hear you. Okay. Can you hear me?
No, well, we can hear you. I can't. Can you hear us?
Barely, barely, barely. Let me try this here. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Hello? Miss Walker, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're not a problem to hear.
Hello?
Uh,
There you go. I can hear you.
you
Gotcha.
can hear me now?
Jerry, I don't know if she could just call in or call call your phone and you
Says
hear
Judge Baker
her.
speaking, but I can't.
Yeah, Lakeisha, do you want to see if your mom can call in and I guess, well, can we text? I can text you the number and then you can text her, or because let me see if I have it. Or if you want to send it to me on the chat, I can do it that way.
Or I don't know if she can call in on the Zoom number.
I forwarded her the link that I was sent, and I believe the numbers are on there.
They are.
Okay. I can hear y'all now.
Can you hear me, Miss Walker?
Yes, I can.
Do you want me to give it a shot, Judge?
You can. So Ms. Walker, are you where you can, are you stationary?
I'm sitting outside.
Okay, but you're not driving?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. All right, well, we'll try this again and see.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Morales, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Miss Walker, have you been present when Egypt was removed from her mother in the past?
When Egypt was removed from my
I'm
mom?
sorry, when Indiana was removed from her mother in the past.
Yes.
Um, did that appear to have an emotional impact on her?
At the time, I'm going to say no, because at that time, Indiana was always wanting to be with me, you know? It was always, can I go to my granny's? Can I go to my granny's? Can I go to my granny's? So it kind of fit the moment, you know?
So if she was allowed to be with you emotionally, she was okay.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
What about in today's current state? Do you have an opinion on whether or not she's more emotionally tied to you or to your daughter?
She's tied to me, but I think it has a lot to do with I can't see my mother. I can't speak to my mother. I want her, you know. And she does have breakdowns. I can hear her sometimes at night. She'll be in her room saying her prayers, and she'll say, "I pray that I get to see my mother, my sisters." Her birthday's coming up. She wrote in her diary that her birthday wish is for her to see her sisters and her mom. I mean, you know, I know that's what a lot of her, I don't want to say anger is tied to, but I think that's what it is.
You do think it'd be in her best interest
Jerry,
reading her mom can show some stability and sobriety.
Jerry, we lost your
Yes.
question completely.
Oh no, yep. Judge, would you like me to turn my video off? I am using a computer that I just installed at my house first time, so I'm sure I didn't do something right.
You can try it and see.
Okay, Judge. Miss Walker, can you hear me? Miss Walker, can you hear me? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Here, yeah, yeah.
So it seems like me and her were going out at
No,
the same time. That's why I
she's not
can't tell if it was me or her.
I think it's been both of you.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Ms. Walker, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Ms. Walker, can you hear me?
Your Honor,
No,
do you
I'm
want me
not
to text
speaking.
her and tell her to call?
Yeah, or is
Hello?
she just working off of cell data instead of Wi-Fi somewhere?
I think maybe she's sitting outside of my granny's house and it's connecting and disconnecting probably. She's probably parked on the street and not in the driveway.
You mean?
Can you hear me now? Okay, there we go.
If she can get where she's connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Okay, let's see.
You know, while we've got downtime, I want to check my audio. Am I good?
You're good. I just didn't recognize you in that room.
You know what? I decided to come to the office today, Judge. That eagle behind me, my mom made that in 1982. She actually got the burlap and she drew the eagle and all the designs and she dyed the wool and hooked it herself.
Wow.
Oh.
Thanks for letting me do the audio check.
Yep. All right, Ms. Walker.
I heard her get out of her car.
Okay, I'm out. Can you all hear me now?
I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, Miss Walker, I think sorry, I forgot where I was at.
Ms. Taylor, what can you tell us what the last question really was?
Sorry, scrolling back through all the can you hear me? Hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. What about in today's terms? Do you have an opinion on whether or not she is more emotionally tied to you or to your daughter? She said she's tied to me and went through her birthday wishes, that it's in her diary that she wants to see her mom and her sisters. And then he said, do you think it would be in her best interest to, and that's where it all went south.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Do you think it'd be in Indiana's best interest to have the opportunity to be reunified with her mother if her mother can show some stability and sobriety?
Absolutely, yes.
If her mother doesn't show stability and sobriety, are you willing to continue to protect Indiana?
Of course.
Does that mean keeping her mother away if that's what the judge orders to do?
Yes.
And have you been doing that so far?
Yes, I have.
You haven't allowed any other visits or any contact or anything like that that's not been ordered?
No, ma'am. No, sir. But I can tell you this. Indiana has a cell phone, and in the cell phone is her mother's number. And at the beginning, she had texted her mother. I did not know she texted her. I've since taken the phone, and she doesn't have it anymore. So,
Well,
there's
thank you
that.
for letting us know that.
Of course.
Is she progressing pretty well in school? Is she on target as far as you know?
Oh, she's over target. I got her assessment for the 6 weeks, and she's over everything in her class by, I think, oh gosh, I wish I had that paper in front of me so I could read it to you all. She's above and beyond. Yes.
Was she in that same position when she came to you? Was she already kind of advanced to where, I guess, her age and her curriculum?
Yes. Yes. Indiana's always been very smart. So.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak.
Thank you so much, Judge. Miss Walker, my name is Vince Nowak, and I represent Cameron Shelton. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And do you know who Cameron is?
I do. Yes.
Have you ever seen Cameron interact with Indiana?
I have. Yes.
And based upon your observations, would you say that those interactions were pleasant and okay?
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, you mentioned earlier about hearing Indiana pray, and she prays to see her mom and sisters. Does she ever pray or talk about wanting to see her dad, Cameron?
She has mentioned that she wants to see him, but not as much as she does mom and sisters.
Daughters and moms, that's a special relationship, correct?
Absolutely, yes. I think fathers and daughters have, a great connection. I'm a daddy's girl myself, so I get it.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you know, I believe right now it's just, I want to get back to the norm of mom and sisters, and then I can get to dad and other grandma, you know?
Yes, ma'am, I understand completely. Mr. Morales asked you a couple of questions about, along the lines of that if mom got her act together, would it be good for Indiana to have visits with mom? You remember that question?
Yes, sir, I do.
And I think your answer was yes. And I think you said, I want mom to get her act together and I want mom to be a mom to Indiana, correct?
Absolutely, because and I'm just going to be honest with you all right now. Mom knows my feelings on the whole thing. And I'm trying to put it politely. Mom knows that I have a foot for her if she doesn't.
I like your style, ma'am. I really do. Along that same line of questioning, Ms. Walker, if Cameron gets his act together, would you think it would be in Indiana's best interest to have some sort of visitation with him?
Yes, because like I said, he's always she's been around Cameron a lot, you know, even when she was little. He would come to my house and pick her up, or go to his mom to LaQuisha's house and pick her up. She's always been really good around her dad. And he's always been really good with her. And Cameron's never been the type of man that I've seen personally to be disrespectful to her, or for her to be disrespectful to him.
And would you agree with me, Ms. Walker, that Cameron is respectful of you as well?
Absolutely, yes. I don't play with them. I don't play with people. I don't have the time, and I'm too old.
I'm about 20 years older than you, but I do like your style, ma'am. I think you're the most important witness we've had in this trial so far, and I sure do appreciate the chance of getting to talk to you. And
Yes,
I believe, have you ever seen Cameron inappropriate around Indiana?
No, I have not.
Ma'am, that's all I have. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Hammonds?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Walker, my name is T.D. Hammonds. I represent Adam Aguilar. You're aware he is in custody right now, correct?
I am, yes.
You've just indicated what kind of relationship you have with Cameron. The times you've been around Adam, does Adam respect you as well?
No.
Okay, so there are some problems there.
Yes.
And you've also seen some volatile relationship between Adam and LaQuisha.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. As far as his relationship with Arrow and Egypt, have you seen him, for instance, alone with the girls with LaQuisha not present?
No, I have not. No.
Okay. I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
Ms. Walker, you and I have met before, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I've been out to the house to visit Indiana a few times.
Yes, ma'am.
So you talked about Indiana doing better at school.
Yes.
She came to you in September, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and originally there were a number of problems at school, kicking, hitting, running, things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, she came to your house from what they call an RTC, a residential treatment center. Were you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that because she was having continuing problems with behavior prior to getting moved with you?
I'm not sure why she was placed there. I don't think anybody explained that to me, not that I'm aware of. I know that she was removed from one home, and then I know she's been moved like 3 times, I believe, and then I would be the 4th, but I was never told why.
Okay. And we've talked about this a few times. You took your responsibility seriously in terms of keeping LaQuisha away.
Absolutely.
And so from September through now the beginning of the school year, although Indiana's still having some issues, are they slowly but surely getting a little bit better?
Absolutely. I can tell you When she first came, it was an everyday call from the school. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing this, she's doing that. Now it's probably, I've probably been called in December alone, probably 3 times the entire month. This January, about 3-4 times in January, and I got a call today, and that, you know, it's been like I said, they're sporadic instead of being every day like they were.
While Indiana was at these previous placements,
Mm-hmm.
she was having regular visits with mom until about August. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So while she's been with you, she hasn't had any contact with mom, and
No.
her behavior is gradually getting better and better.
Right. Like I said, the incident with the cell phone where she was texting mom and I didn't know. I can tell you that mom, she did text her back and said, "You're not supposed to be on that phone. Take it to your granny." And that's how I found out. So she took it. She brought me the phone and I was like, "Oh, Lord, we can't have this," you know, and I took it and she hadn't got it back.
You had said that your mom and then I think Aunt Angela are a support system for LaQuisha, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And in fact, before last week's hearing, y'all went over and cleaned LaQuisha's house for her.
Absolutely. Well, no, I'm gonna take that back. We didn't clean it for her. We helped her clean it. That's the difference.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that it is important for Indiana and all the kids to live in a home that is free from violence?
Yes.
Do you think, well, let me just leave it there. I'll pass the witness.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Morales, back to you.
Your Honor, I haven't had a chance.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Trout.
That's
I
all right.
apologize.
You're fine. Can you hear me, Ms. Walker?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Real quick, you stated at the beginning of Mr. Morales's questions that Indiana had lived with you a time before.
Yes,
What was the reasoning for that?
because her LaQuisha, Indiana, and Adam Aguilar were walking by the park at the school, and Mr. Aguilar hit LaQuisha while she was holding Indiana, and CPS was called, and so they placed her with me.
Okay. So the incident that led us to this current case also involved a violent incident between Mr. Aguilar and LaQuisha.
Correct.
Okay. Are you aware that LaQuisha and Adam are still in contact?
I wasn't aware until recently.
Okay. Do you feel like that's a good thing?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you approve of that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now you stated a while ago with Mr. Morales that, or it may have been with Mr. Nowak, I can't remember, that mom knew what your feelings were if she doesn't act correctly and get things taken care of.
Correct. She has to listen to my mouth.
Okay. Are you aware we're here today because she still hasn't completed her services?
Yes, the inpatient. Yes, I'm aware.
And you're aware that we've been in this case for about 1.5 years now?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that there are consequences for decisions made?
I'm sorry. I don't. What do you mean consequences for a decision? Like if the judge makes a decision and then she doesn't do them?
Well, that would be one. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, I believe for every action there's an opposite reaction.
Okay.
Whether it be.
That's my question. Do you believe that when there should be things done and rules to be followed and aren't, there are consequences to that?
Sure. Yes. In any adult. Absolutely.
All right. And you're aware that LaQuisha has not followed all the rules in this case.
I don't know what rules. The only thing that I'm aware of is the inpatient thing. Anything else, I don't know. If there's more, I don't know about it.
You stated that Indiana had a phone. Where did she get that phone?
She got the phone from her mother whenever they were doing their visits.
Okay. Was Indiana supposed to have that phone to your knowledge?
I don't know.
Do you feel like she was supposed to have that phone?
Objection.
I don't see.
Speculation.
Hang on, I think Mr. Morales was objecting. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge. I was saying speculation. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'll sustain.
Let me ask you this way. If mom was not supposed to and child were not supposed to have any unsupervised contact,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe mom should have given the child a phone with her number in it?
Because it was given before that ruling was made, yes.
I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Morales.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, does anybody else have any further questions for Ms. Walker?
Judge, if I may just briefly, please.
Certainly.
Hey, Ms. Walker, it's Vince Nowak again. Can you hear me, ma'am? Ms. Walker, you're muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's Vince again. I just have a couple questions real quick.
Yes, sir.
You've never seen Cameron be violent towards Lakeisha or Indiana, correct?
No, sir, I have not.
And Mr. Trout asked you a question as to whether consequences have actions have consequences. You remember that question, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that Cameron has done anything in Indiana's life to deny him at least visitation with a child?
No.
And you believe that both Lakeisha and Cameron should have at least visitation with Indiana, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And ma'am, have you heard the expression that it takes a village?
I have. I say it all the time.
And sometimes not every member of that village is perfect, but they bring something to the table, correct?
Absolutely.
And in the village, when we're talking about it, I'm specifically talking about Indiana. In this little particular village, you bring a big part of it, don't you?
Yeah, oh, yes.
And so does Lakeisha, correct?
She does, yes.
And so does Cameron, correct?
Absolutely. And so does his mom and his stepdad and, yes.
Excellent. And would you agree with me that it would not be in Indiana's best interest to take any of those village members out?
Absolutely. I would agree to that. Yeah.
Ms. Walker, thank you so much. And Judge, I pass the witness.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Walker?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Morales, you intend to release her at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any objection, counsel?
No objection.
No, Judge.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, Ms. Walker, you are free to go at this time.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now, may I ask you a question? Mr. Morales, are you gonna call my mom right now? Because if you are, I have to hand her the phone.
No, I am not.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
at this point I was gonna rest after my talking with Lakeisha.
Gotcha. Okay. You all have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Morales.
Your Honor, I'd rest at this point. No other witnesses.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nowak.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to call Cameron Shelton. Cameron, you're giving me an uphill battle today. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you haven't worked many of your services, correct?
Correct.
How come?
I'm always busy with work, and I ain't really got transportation like that. And every time I'm called to go and do something, I be at work, and it be too late because I don't see it with my phone off of me.
And you've let your caseworker know that when you've been requested to do things that you just don't have transportation, correct?
A few times.
Okay. And is that the same reason? I'm looking at the sheet and it says you've missed a bunch of drug tests. How come?
Most of the time, I'll be at work when I miss a drug test.
Okay.
She'll send an email around 2 to 3 in the afternoon. By then, I'm already at work. I don't get off till 5 or 6 most of the time.
Now, we had another case, you and I together with your daughter Jediah, correct?
Judea, but yes,
Jediah, my bad. I'm sorry, man. And in that case, the resolution was you get visitation with Jediah, correct?
we ended that case with me having joint custody of Judea with visitation, mom with primary care.
Okay. And that's going well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you and I have talked, and I can read the tea leaves or the writing on the wall with the best of them. And within the hour, this judge is either going to terminate your rights or give you some sort of visitation. You understand that, correct?
I do.
Cameron, this is your time to talk to the judge. What would you like to tell the judge about what you want to happen between you and Indiana?
Honestly, I mean, I really ain't too much of a case pleader myself. I understand there were services put in place for me to have to work. I understand life happened to everybody and everything like that. But shit just hit me a little bit harder for real. I ain't really got no excuses. They were put there. I couldn't work them because I had other things going on. Whatever you decide, that's what you decide. I'm grown enough to accept that.
And you work full time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're proud to be a full-time employee, correct?
Correct.
And you do that in part to make sure that you can provide for your children, correct?
Correct.
If the judge were to grant you some sort of visitation, you would abide by that order and do all you could to support Indiana, correct?
All and more.
Right. Tell me about your relationship with LaShonda. Good relationship?
Me and LaShonda really don't have too much of a relationship. It's kind of understood. I'm Indiana's dad. That's her grandma. We see each other and don't see each other. When we do communicate, it's respectful, it's peaceful. It's not really an issue. We can talk, we can laugh, we talk common problems with Indiana. It's a lot that me and LaShonda do talk about, but it's mostly based around my daughter.
And that's a good relationship between you and LaShonda, correct?
I would call it more civil than anything.
Okay. And she's respectful of your rights as the dad, correct?
She is.
And you're respectful of her rights for caring for Indiana, correct?
Correct.
And do you think if the judge were to grant you some sort of visitation moving forward, y'all could maintain that civil, polite relationship?
Definitely.
Is there anything else you want to tell Judge Baker today, Cameron?
Not at this time.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Judge. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Shelton, where do you work?
I'm currently at Burger King.
Okay. How many hours a week do you work?
I pull approximately 40 to 45 hours a week. I do cook, front counter, training. So I'm kind of all over the store. Kind of consumes all of my time.
Are you exercising visitation with your other child?
Yes, I do.
I mean, do you have that child every week for some time?
It's not every week. The court order was first, third, and I believe fifth weekends. I do go and retrieve my child and bring her down here. We have fun for the weekend. I take her out to eat. We'll go to an arcade. We talk about things that she can understand to talk to me enough about at the age of 3. It's really just one big play day when me and my youngest link together. It's all fun, and let's focus on the positive and the time we have instead of focus on the negative.
Well, between work and the time you spend with the other child, I mean, do you have time to, work Indiana into this picture somewhere?
Indiana's my oldest child. I make the time to juggle in my daughter. It's always been that way.
Well, you understand that because you haven't worked services in this case, I haven't seen that effort of you wanting to make time for her.
I do understand. One of my service plan requirements was for me to maintain steady employment and give me a transportation and a home. I've been working with this, and like I said, I do understand that y'all seen me under that I was arrested for the DWI. That case is still pending, so I'm still fighting with that. I just finished paying off all my other city tickets. So it's been a juggle of financials, but the main thing that I've been doing is making sure that I maintain my employment so that I can try to get me a vehicle and work further more of my steps.
Are you ordered to pay child support for Indiana?
In me and Quay's original agreement, I was ordered to pay child support. With this case, it was told to me that child support payments were supposed to be paused. However, it still is being taken out of my checks.
child support for Indiana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll do some looking back at that, but you think it is coming out of your paycheck?
I'm certain of it because it tells me.
Okay. You paying support on your other child too?
They haven't taken anything out, and I'm not sure why that is. But I'm supposed to be paying child support for her as well. So in the meantime, with them not taking anything out of my check, I try to do my best and send her something to help out every 2 weeks when I do get paid.
Okay. All right. Mr. Trout?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Shelton, your attorney asked you about your other case with Judea, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Circumstances on that case were a little different from this one, correct?
I would definitely agree.
Okay. In that case, Judea's mother had nothing to do with the CPS case and the reason she was removed, and was a safe place to place Judea, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so that case was finalized by an agreement between the parties, specifically you and mom in that case, for joint custody, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we got out of that case early, correct?
I would say we got out of it fairly quickly.
Okay. But in this case, you were court ordered to work services, correct?
Correct.
And you were aware of those services?
I was.
And you were aware of what would happen if those services were not worked? Or
to an extent.
Let me rephrase that. You were aware of what could happen and what the department would be asking for if those services were not worked?
I was aware of the overall outcome if the services were not completed.
Okay. And you did not complete those services, did you?
I did not complete a good majority of my services.
Okay. And is it safe to say that there's a good majority of those services you didn't even attempt to complete?
No.
You attempted to complete all of them?
I've attempted to complete most of them. I was referred to go to a TPC. I want to say it was like some type of consultation.
Mhm.
I went to that and I was told that, in other words, I wasn't mentally incapacitated enough for them to continue sessions. So that was dismissed by the TPC department. I was also referred to go to Jennings Counseling for a psychosocial and 7 other independent sessions. I did go to the psychosocial, and upon doing that psychosocial, I was told by Jennings Counseling that I was not going to be referred for the 7 counseling sessions. I've reached out to various parenting classes with no luck. It looks real bad on my end. Like I'm just not trying, but I'm doing the most that I can considering what else I'm going through.
Okay. And you've had a year and a half to complete these, correct?
Correct.
Now, when this case originally started, you were technically non-offending parent and were looked at for the placement of your child, correct?
Correct.
And you tested positive for methamphetamine at that time, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you see an issue with the fact that you don't drug screen for us throughout this case?
I understand where it could be seen as an issue. Unfortunately, I was around some people that I probably shouldn't have been around, especially with the volatileness of this case. Once I did receive that notification of the positive drug screen, I left them completely alone. Like I said, since then I've been really by myself and at work. So it's just not a matter of me not trying to drug test and prove that I'm not doing anything. It's more of a matter of inconvenience with time.
Okay. So looking at your drug screens, you either tested positive for marijuana or meth or didn't go drug screen throughout the life of this case. You aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you stated earlier when the judge asked you a question about would you be able to make time for Indiana if she wasn't to terminate today, based upon everything you do.
Yes, sir.
And you said you always make time to juggle her in, correct?
I always have.
Okay. But in the last year and a half, you stated you were so busy, you didn't have time to complete the services, which would have gotten you your child back.
Correct.
Okay. So you didn't have time to juggle in those services for your daughter. Is
I
that correct?
understand what you're saying. Most of the services that I was being asked to work were commutes over 30 to 45 minutes out of town. I, again, do not have my own transportation. I've also asked a few times for transportation to be arranged or for me to have some type of assistance. And that's both through my caseworker and my assets outside of the case. And that's just not working.
Okay. Now you had transportation at one time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you don't have transportation now. Why?
I totaled my vehicle due to the brakes being out.
Okay. Do you have a current driver's license?
My driver's license is currently suspended pending review of the case that I'm fighting with the DWI.
Okay. And those issues are at no fault of anybody's but your own, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Morales?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Shelton, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Have you had the opportunity to witness Miss Stotts in front of her 3 children?
I have.
Okay. Have you ever seen her smoke marijuana in front of her children?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen her drink alcohol in front of her children?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen her do any illicit drugs in front of the children?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you and Miss Stotts ever lived together?
No.
Okay. But you've had an opportunity sharing Indiana with her, seeing what kind of mother she is?
Yes.
Okay. Has she ever given you any reason to feel fear for Indiana's safety?
No.
What about the other children?
I cannot personally attest to the other 2, seeing as how I barely see them. When I did see them, it would be in brief periods of time when I go to pick up Indiana from Miss LaQuisha. And from those times of observating, I would say she's a good mother. She does what she has to do. They're clean, they're healthy, they're well taken care of.
When you pick up your children, do you go in the doorway? Are you able to like see into Mrs. Stott's house?
I walk all the way in.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I said children. I guess you're only picking up Indiana, obviously. Um, have you ever noticed anything in her house or the condition of her house that gives you concern for Indiana or her other children?
No.
Does it appear to be well kept usually?
If it's not clean already, by the time I get there, she's in the process of actively cleaning it.
Okay. Does Indiana make any complaints about not having food with her mother?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Is it accurate that LaQuisha and her mother are pretty close?
It is.
Are you pretty familiar with her mother?
As I said earlier, we have a civil relationship. It's not really extensive.
Okay, perfect. I'll pass on this.
Ms. Stotts, I have seen your message. I'm just trying to let everybody question him real quickly, and then we will take a break here pretty quickly. All right. Mr. Hammonds, any questions?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Shelton, where did you meet LaQuisha?
We met through mutual acquaintances when I was younger.
Okay. I mean, are you 2 about the same age?
She's a little bit older than me.
And did you even know her high school age? I mean, that far back?
I think she maybe had just gotten out of high school when we met originally. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Okay. Do you understand? You've listened to all of the testimony in regards to this case. You understand the major issue is the drug usage. You understand that?
Right.
I mean, you understand the concern of all of us placing any children with somebody who's using an illegal substance. You understand that?
Right.
Would you describe your usage of marijuana as occasional, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I would describe it as occasional.
Okay. If you are under the influence of marijuana, do you feel like you're the best parent you can be at that moment?
I try not to be around my children when I'm under the influence of marijuana. They're usually with my with my mother or my sister. I usually go to the park.
All right. So we can all agree that it would be in everybody's best interest if you and LaQuisha did not do any marijuana. We can all agree on that.
We can.
Would you be committed to making that effort?
I would.
And listening to everything you've heard over the last couple sessions, do you believe LaQuisha has made that turn? I mean, she claims to have been sober since August.
Honestly, since the case, me and LaQuisha haven't had that much contact between the two of each other, but I've seen her quit before. She's very strong-minded and she has a very strong will. So if she says she's going to do something, 9 times out of 10, she's doing that.
All right. I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
I believe all my questions have been answered. No questions.
All right. Mr. Nowak, anything further?
I'll be brief, Judge, because I think I heard someone call for a bathroom break, and I was gonna make that request if somebody else did. So I'll be very, very brief if I may.
Okay.
Cameron, can you hear me?
I hear you.
If you were to be tested today, we gonna find any meth, coke, or heroin in you?
You're not going to find any of those substances.
Okay. Mr. Trout asked you earlier, how in the world are you going to make time for Indiana when you didn't make time for the services? Do you remember that?
I do.
Now, most of the services you were requested to complete and the drug testing happened during work hours, correct?
Correct.
You had to make a choice to either file the court order to keep a job or also file the court order to do services, correct?
Correct.
It was kind of a catch-22, correct?
Right.
And there have been times in this case when you've asked for transportation for assistance with services and drug testing, correct?
Correct.
And you have been denied that transportation, correct?
Correct.
Judge, thank you so much. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Mr. Shelton?
Few quick questions.
No, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Trout, go ahead.
Did you understand throughout your case asking for transportation, it was as a kind of a first come, first served basis? It wasn't guaranteed?
No, I did not. I was told that if I needed help with transportation, to ask and transportation would be made available.
Okay. And were you ever told that transportation was not available?
Only every time that I asked.
Okay.
Most of the time I was paying out of pocket to go and do anything.
Okay. Was there no other way for you to ever get transported anywhere?
Like I said, most of the time, my mom, she's a disabled veteran. That's 9 times out of 10 my transportation. If she has appointments, which usually last all day, then I don't have a ride.
What about public transportation?
I've never tried it, honestly.
Okay.
It's
There are
unreliable. It is an option. I'm not going to say it's not. However, it's unreliable with timing. If y'all are giving me time limits and I have to be here at a certain time, the public transportation in Amarillo is not necessarily the best.
How do you get to work every day?
Either I walk or I have a ride from my mother.
Okay. Do you have friends that drive?
I have friends that drive, but I don't use them.
Okay. My point here is, as an adult, you have to make determinations on how to get places, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And there's some options that didn't work out for you, but there are also options for transportation you didn't try, correct?
Agreed.
Okay. Now, Mr. Morales was asking you a few questions about mom around the children and what type of mom she was, correct?
Correct.
You've heard that this is now second time CPS has been involved with Indiana, and they were due to violence between mom and Mr. Aguilar, correct?
Correct.
And mom still is in contact. By her testimony, she's still in contact with Mr. Aguilar.
Correct.
Does that give you concern for the safety of your daughter in her home?
Not to sound cocky or dangerous in my own manner, but no, because my daughter's safety is known not to be played with.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 instances now where CPS is involved while there's been violence between them in that home.
Understandable, but both times in that CPS case, my daughter nor the other children were harmed in any instance.
Okay. And not even just harm, but being around that type of behavior.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with either of the girls, any of them being around that situation or those circumstances. Quay knows this. However, that's not my place to say. I'm grown just like she's grown, and if anything, she's gonna do what she wants to do.
Okay. But the question is about your daughter, so it is your place to say.
When it comes to my daughter, if Quay feels like my daughter is going to be in harm's way or in a situation that she doesn't need to be in, Quay calls me to come and get my daughter, or she'll bring her to me.
You stated your marijuana use or drug use was occasional, correct?
Correct.
When's the last time you used?
Probably last month, in the middle of the last month.
And what was that?
I smoked a blunt, probably a 0.5 to a gram.
Okay. So throughout this case in the last year and a half, not drug screening, you're still using?
Occasionally, and I only smoke marijuana, but yes.
I'll pass witness, Sean.
Okay, anybody have any other questions for Mr. Shelton?
No, Judge.
No further question.
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, then we're going to take a short break here, probably about 10 minutes, and then we'll resume.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Nowak, any further witnesses?
No, Judge, rest.
Okay. Mr. Hammond.
Call Adam Aguilar.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, you're going to need to unmute. All right, sir, just try to speak up a little bit and you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Adam, where did you go to high school?
I went to an alternative education program.
Okay, here in Amarillo?
Yes, sir. I was kicked out of high school.
Okay, what age were you? Was it your freshman year?
My junior year.
Okay. Did you graduate from that program? Did you get your GED?
I got my high school diploma in 2017.
Okay. And what type of work have you done since high school?
Almost everything from working outside in the streets to everything inside of a house.
Okay, so construction work?
Warehouses, driving forklifts, stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, have you worked at Affiliated or what kind of business?
I worked at Affiliated as an order selector. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings as a cook. I worked at Cracker Barrel as a dishwasher and a cook. I've worked at Americo Logistics as a forklift driver and putting processed meat into boxes.
Okay, you've always had employment.
Yes, sir.
Where did you meet LaQuisha Stotts?
I met her right next to my grandmother's house.
Okay, and
our grandparents.
And how?
Side by side.
All right. Did you move in with each other at some point?
Yes, sir.
And then was Arrow born soon after that?
Not soon after. I moved in with her like within the first week of me meeting her, and we had about 4 miscarriages before we had Egypt.
Okay, and did she have her own home at that point?
Yes, sir. She had an apartment.
All right. And was she working anywhere?
I believe she worked as RN at some places, and then she worked as a cash register.
Okay. Let's just come to the most recent events where the two of you were getting into arguments. Do you recall even what the arguments were about, or was it just not getting along in general?
At that time, we weren't really seeing eye to eye because I wasn't very empathetic to the fact that she just had 2 children back to back, and a lot of stuff was taking a toll on her body. She was stressed out. I would always be working, and sometimes I overworked myself because I was providing for all 3 of my children that were in my care. And sometimes when I would get off of work, I wasn't really being a helpful dad because I was really tired. I did what I could.
Yeah, is it safe to say you've had a lot of time to think about how you could have done things differently?
Yes, sir, that's more than accurate.
Okay, and while you've been incarcerated, have you taken advantage of some of their programs in there?
Almost everyone that could be beneficial to me.
Okay, just describe to me some of the things you've done that you felt helped you.
Taking changes, which is basically how to improve my everyday attitude towards things, control my violent behaviors and my substance abuse. And I've also have completed a parenting course, and we all have been issued state tablets to where we have courses that we can take on eDovo. It's an app that literally teaches you almost anything, and I've been taking courses on there about family violence and just basically everything that kind of links up with what CPS required me to do while I was free. I'm doing while I'm in here.
Okay, and you mentioned family violence. You've kind of taken some, I'm going to assume they're anger management type classes?
Yes, sir.
Conflict resolution, better ways to settle arguments?
Yes, sir, like cognitive thinking, and there's another one here. It's called Voyagers, but it's kind of the same as Changes. But Changes was really the main course that really touched on every base.
Okay, suffice it to say, you believe in your heart you're going to be a better person when you get out of there.
Yes, sir.
You're going to live your life differently.
Yes, sir.
Were you having issues with substances when you were out in the free world?
No, sir.
I mean, did you smoke a little marijuana?
I did, up until the point that we got involved with CPS.
Okay. And, of course, you've heard all the testimony. You realize that LaQuisha has had some issues with marijuana and right up until about August of this last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was she smoking marijuana when the two of you were together?
No, I wasn't allowing her to because she was pregnant.
Okay. The 2 little girls, were your family members involved in their lives?
Yes, sir.
Okay, which family members?
My grandparents on both sides of my family, and my aunts, uncles, and cousins on both sides of my family, and occasionally a few of my siblings.
Okay, and you love your daughters and you want to maintain a relationship, correct?
Yes, sir.
And all of your family does as well?
Yes, sir, even including Indiana.
Okay. Now, have you gotten a sheet from TDCJ that indicates when you might be released from prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is that date?
I don't feel too comfortable clarifying that, just because I have a lot.
Well, let me just ask you this. Do you anticipate, I mean, this is February of 2025. Do you anticipate by the end of 2025 you will have at least had an opportunity to chat with parole?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
even probably before October.
Okay. And you believe you've done everything in your control so that when they open your file, they see that you've taken advantage of your time in prison and have bettered yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any other children other than Arrow and Egypt?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, have you been classified in any other court proceeding as the father of any other children?
No, but I've been in contact with some of my family members who have gotten a couple phone calls stating that I may be the father to some children that I'm not fully aware of that yet, but I'm still kind of in the dark on that situation.
Okay, and are these children that might have been conceived prior to you meeting LaQuisha?
It was after we split up.
Okay.
We weren't together for about a good 8 to 9 months.
All right, I understand. All right, now, the whole incident that basically ended up in you being incarcerated, can you give the judge an idea of about how hard the cars ran into each other at the Walmart?
The only damage that happened was I sideswiped my rear, my side mirror.
Okay. And did you stay there until the police arrived?
I called the police after I left the incident. Well, I didn't call the police. My girlfriend did at the time.
Okay. Did you go back, or was there eventually a warrant issued for your arrest?
No, we called one of the police officers to come there to get an affidavit from me and my girlfriend at the time, and we talked about the situation that happened. And then she made a report, and then she originally told me that they had a call with the same exact situation 6 hours later from LaQuisha, and they went to her, and then they came and arrested me. Or I had a warrant out for my arrest.
I understand. All right, but that day, at that moment, you were not arrested. The day of the incident.
No, sir.
All right.
'Cause I guess they were confused on whose call to go with, I guess.
I understand. Now, as far as your criminal record goes, did you have any other violence on your record other than this incident?
No, sir.
Any assaults or pointing a gun at anybody or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay, you understand. When you're released from prison, you have to abide by certain rules, and if you don't, you go back to prison. You understand that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
But you believe you can get a job when you get out?
Yes, sir. I'm still in contact with my last boss that I was working with, and he told me that he understands my situation and everything, and that I'm still welcome back over there when I get out.
All right, and you would like to continue the opportunity to be a parent to these girls, correct?
Most definitely. That was my favorite job in the world.
All right. I have nothing further, Judge.
All right, Mr. Trout.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Aguilar, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You stated you were kicked out of high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. May I ask what you were kicked out of high school for?
I was doing graffiti at the time, and I got in trouble for tagging up my school.
Okay. You stated you've worked a lot of different jobs. Were those, did you leave those jobs on your own accord? Were you fired from jobs? What was your situation on your work history?
Lack of transportation. I always lived farther than the jobs that I worked, and so sometimes I wasn't able to get there.
Were you ever fired from jobs?
Yes, sir.
Um,
It was
have you
really only fired from
notified?
one job.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I apologize. I said I was only fired from one job.
You stated that you've been taking a lot of classes since you've been incarcerated. Have you turned over any certificates or anything to your worker, your caseworker?
I can't do that, but upon completion, the TDCJ has sent her emails, so she
Okay.
should have those certificates. If not, I have them in my folder, and I was planning on sending them to my grandparents, so that way, if she gets a hold of my grandparents, she'll be able to see them.
Okay, but you haven't done that yet?
No, sir.
Okay. You stated that you had smoked marijuana before, and stopped when the CPS case started. Have you ever, is that the only drug you've ever used?
Yes, sir. Besides alcohol.
Okay. Never used meth or heroin or anything, cocaine, anything
No,
like
sir.
that? Your attorney asked you about your release date. Your parole date's in October of 25, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your projected release date is October of 2026, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you are eligible for parole in about 8 or 9 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now your attorney asked you about the day of the incident and that led to your incarceration that you're there for. Whether the cars bumped or sideswiped, you pled to an ag assault with a deadly weapon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you also pled to a unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And both of those cases had Ms. Stotts listed as the victim in those cases. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There's a history of domestic violence between the two of you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And does that go both ways, or is that mostly from your point of view?
It's mainly from my point of view.
Okay. Does any of your family, did they use drugs?
No, sir.
Judge, I'm gonna object to relevancy.
Judge, Mr. Hammonds asked whether any of his family were part of the lives. I think it's important to know whether any of his family that's part of the children's lives or have been around them have drug issues that he's aware of.
I'm gonna overrule. I'm gonna allow him to answer the question.
Mr. Aguilar?
No, sir. None of my parents in my family even drink.
Does anybody in your family ever use drugs that you're aware of?
No, sir. Other than prescribed to them by a doctor. No, sir.
Have you ever told Ms. Brown that your mother had a coke problem?
She had cancer at one point in time.
Okay, that wasn't the question, Mr. Aguilar.
Well, I don't think I heard you correctly.
Okay. Did you ever tell Ms. Brown that your mother or anybody or Ms. Stotts had a drug problem?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you aware of Ms. Stotts having a drug problem?
No, sir. I was with her 4.5 years. She never really had any problems.
Okay. You ever see her use marijuana?
Yes, sir.
You ever see her use cocaine?
No, sir. That was a surprise to me.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Morales,
Thank you. Mr. Aguilar, how long did you say you and Miss Doss lived together?
4.5 years.
Okay. And those first few years before Egypt and Arrow were born, did Miss Stotts have possession of Indiana?
Yes, sir.
Did you become close to Indiana?
Yes, sir. She was basically the daughter that made me a father, that made me want to be an actual father, because everybody always told me that just because I wasn't her dad that I'm not her father. But I understood that, but I always took care of her.
You treated her like she was your own?
Yes, sir.
Um, what kind of mother do you think LaQuisha is?
She's a very good mother. She's active. She works. She cooks, cleans, does everything that a mother would be portrayed to do.
You said it was a surprise to you that she had tested positive for cocaine during this case.
Yes, sir.
You've never known her to do cocaine?
No, sir.
Um, but you said you've seen her smoke marijuana before?
Yes, sir. I was also smoking marijuana with her.
Were you doing that around her daughter or y'all's
No,
daughter?
sir.
Okay.
No, sir. They would. She would always be with her grandmother or her biological father.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak,
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Zavala.
Mr. Aguilar, you've acknowledged that you've got a history of domestic violence, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you present for the testimony where 5-year-old Indiana said that my mother would get hurt, thrown, threatened, and a gun would be put to her head?
I wasn't present, but I read the papers that had those testimonies on it, and it was on that testimony. It said that it was a fake gun, and it was. But yes, I was aware of the testimonies.
Okay. Were you also aware that she said that you were going to kill her mother?
No, I was not aware of that.
What kind of emotional damage does that do to a 5-year-old child to witness that over and over?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think he's qualified to testify as to what
Hang on,
I can
just a
qualify,
second, just a second, Mr. Aguilar. I need to rule on the objection. Okay, as the question was asked, it is sort of asking for a clinical type response. So I'm going to sustain the objection. You can ask him something else, Ms. Zavala.
Do you think witnessing that hurt her in any way?
I could say yes and no, because she never really witnessed anything other than being able to hear something from her bedroom.
I pass witness.
She was never around the area.
Okay. Mr. Hammond, anything further?
No, Judge.
All right. Mr. Hammonds, well, let me just ask, anybody else have any further questions for Mr. Aguilar?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Judge, I have no other witnesses. I rest.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hammonds. Okay, Ms. Zavala, any witnesses to present?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. Do you rest?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to make?
I believe so. On the one hand, one of my 3 clients can talk to me, and she does express that she loves her mom. And we've got a mom who's completed most of her services. But I also have a 6-year-old who appears to be modeling the same behavior that she's seen over and over. We're a year and a half into the second CPS case, and we don't seem to have although services have been done, there doesn't seem to be a change in what these children would potentially go home to. The family-based case was turned into a removal because mom couldn't follow the rules and acted out of anger and took her kids to a fight. The removal continued on and on because mom couldn't, she acted out of anger and couldn't follow the rules at rehab. I just don't see, and then, we've gone through all these courses, but Mr. Aguilar is being called an amazing father. He's an amazing. I don't see the kids going back to any kind of changed situation, and it's hard and difficult. And I would think at this point, my recommendation would be termination, but it is close.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, everybody. It's pretty late in the day. I've had a very, very full day. I am going to give this all some thought and think about it overnight. And I'll let everybody know, or at least I'll let, of course, the attorneys know. Most likely tomorrow. And so I'll issue my ruling by email, but I'll docket it as well to render that. So.
And Judge, I appreciate the court's had a long day. I kind of lurk in the background to make sure that I'm on time when my cases show up. Would the court entertain closing, or do you have everything you need right now?
I would absolutely entertain closing from any of you, definitely. And apologize, I didn't offer that to everybody. That's how late in the day it is. So Ms. Stotts has a question, but Ms. Stotts, I'm not. Do you need to talk to your attorney?
It was more a question for Ms. Zavala's statement, but if I can't ask it, that's fine.
Okay, no, I mean it's her recommendation is just it's just that. It's
No, not about the entire recommendation, just about one statement that she made. But
well, I'm happy to let you talk to your attorney if you need to.
I don't need to. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right, then I would be happy to entertain argument from everybody. So, Mr. Stratton, you want to defer?
I'll go whenever you tell me to go, Judge. I'll go. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Morales.
Your Honor, and I think the court knows me well enough. I wouldn't just say this. Otherwise, I'd just be quiet and go about my business and make what points I think are relevant. I know Ms. Stotts has had some issues and difficulties, her attitude throughout this case, but I will represent to the court that I have had no issues with Ms. Stotts whatsoever. She's always been cordial with me. She is passionate about her case. I think her passion and frustration comes out a little bit more than it should, and that's cost her. That's cost her kids. It's maybe cost her a relationship, but I think she has learned a lot. She has made a ton of progress. She worked her services diligently with every intention of getting her children back, and she did struggle with the outpatient, with the inpatient. She did attend 3 times. She attended, I believe it was 40 something days in total. Again, she didn't successfully complete. We all understand that. And then she came to a point where she had so much sobriety that she couldn't be allowed in, which is a good thing. All 3 of her most recent drug screens were negative. I think she's making an effort, and in all honesty, I think what most important is the kids, and I think that Indiana would be devastated if we decided to terminate and move on at this point. The younger 2, obviously, they might not have been as bonded. I don't know that I can speak to that, obviously, but I think given Indiana being with her grandmother, and I know how the court feels and how I feel about siblings being together, I don't know that that's as important in this case, given the fact that I think Indiana is very bonded to her grandmother. And I think that would be what's most devastating to her if we move to termination and we're not looking in the long term of what we're going to do. I think if St. Francis is thinking, okay, grandma's not a viable option and we're looking for an alternative placement, I think that is absolutely not in Indiana's best interest. And I think Ms. Stotts is capable of taking care of all three children, Your Honor. So all we have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Morales. Mr. Hammonds?
Judge, I certainly appreciate the difficulty in cases like this. I think we need to focus on the burden, which is clear and convincing evidence. And I think what you have in front of you may be what's called a close call, but I do believe Mr. Aguilar and Ms. Stotts, they're young. They've made some incredibly bad choices, but they've also, I believe, made a lot of progress in the last year. I believe Mr. Aguilar that he can get out, he can live a different life than what he was living before. He has had access to helpful tools while he's been there in prison. He certainly has a great deal of time to think about the mistakes that he's made. Like we mentioned before, it does take a village. I do believe Ms. Stotts and Ms. Aguilar have a village behind them to help them. They do have a lot of relatives that are interested in these children. I do believe they love the kids. I would like to see the court, maybe work out some sort of monitored return over the next 6 to 9 months that would then allow Mr. Aguilar to get out and become a part of their life again. And if that means, supervised visits for a while, before he and Ms. Stotts, work out their issues, so be it. But I'm like Mr. Morales. Termination seems pretty harsh in this case, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Nowak?
Thank you so much, Your Honor, and may it please the court. I'm speaking on behalf of Cameron in Indiana, obviously. And Judge, I think the most important witness that you've heard in this trial is LaShonda Walker. She's actually on the ground. She's doing the work, and I think the court should trust and respect her opinion. And her opinion today was direct, and that is that visits with Cameron with Indiana are in Indiana's best interest. And I know it's old and it's tried, but it sometimes it does take a village, and we don't always have the best people in a village, but we have different people that we bring together that makes it the best for that child. Cameron is not perfect, but he has appeared at every hearing, Judge. Every single hearing he's appeared, not only in this case and in the other case with his daughter Jediah. Sorry, Cameron. He's maintained all of those visits with her. He's paying child support, and Judge, he works more than 40 hours a week. And I know that most of us, we work more than 40 hours a week. We have kids, and some of us have grandkids. We seem to make it work. But some folks have a little bit more difficulty. I think Cameron has done extremely well considering everything. Again, Judge, he's made every hearing. He's kept a job. He's paying child support. He's kept his visitation with his other daughter. And I know this isn't the bar, but he's never put a gun to anybody's head. I just think the court should trust the person on the ground, that'd be Ms. Walker, who has the best information. It's firsthand information. And her testimony to you, Judge, was that it would be in the child's best interest for Cameron to have visitations, at least with Indiana. Judge, I sure do appreciate the opportunity to make this closing argument, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nowak. All right.
Your Honor, do I get to make a statement?
You do. I just don't know if Ms. Zavala has anything further to say. I'm going to let you go last because I assumed you'd want to go last.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Zavala?
I do also want to clarify that I think it's really important that that this final hearing and placement decisions are separated. I don't think at this point it's my recommendation that nothing be changed in terms of placement until we have a future placement hearing, if that becomes an issue. I know there was some reference to a possible other placement for the other girls, but I think we need to hold still for just a little bit and address that in a specific hearing if need be.
Okay, agreed. I don't think that's really on the table today. All right, Mr. Mr. Trout?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I agree this is a tough case. I don't think anybody here disputes that. But it is a case of our situations and our cases have certain rules and guidelines that everybody has to follow. And it's a way, as we all know, for these cases to proceed in the orderly fashion and to be able to make these decisions in tough cases. Throughout the life of this case, Ms. Stotts has done well in work services. She has not been able to stay drug-free. She has not been able to follow the court's order, which was given to her many times, that she has to complete inpatient rehab because of the drug issues. She couldn't hold it together 30 days in a drug rehab in order to finish. She left twice. She was kicked out on her twice and left on her own accord one time, even after that order was given. Neither one of the dads have work service. Now, Mr. Aguilar states he's worked some stuff inside. We don't have any knowledge other than his statements that he has done that. He may get out in October of next year, or he may be another till 2026 before he gets out on his projected release date. Those charges are, one of them at least, is a violent charge against mom, in which mom is still having contact with him while he's in prison. Mom's behaviors haven't changed other than she checked the boxes. She may have corrected some of her behaviors, but she now has 2 CPS cases that resulted in violence with Mr. Aguilar. And even after pleading guilty and going to prison, she is still in contact with Mr. Aguilar. Mr. Shelton had a chance to have his child back as the non-offending parent at the beginning of this case and resulted in drug screening positive for meth, which got his other child taken from him. And even after that, he still did not work services, and he still, by his own testimony, has not remained drug-free in the last year and a half. It's a case, it's a tough case, but it's a case of none of the parents have done what they are supposed to do. And so that is why we're asking for the court to terminate rights based upon the statutes and the grounds for termination. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, counsel. Again, I really do appreciate everybody's time. The parties may not know this. I think most of the attorneys know this. I take a voracious amount of notes in all of our hearings, not just finals, but particularly in finals. In this case, we've done this over the course of a couple of days with time in between, and so I really want to go back and review everything so that I have a little more cohesive, immediate recall and memory of the testimony that's been given. So my intention is to do that and study that this evening and tomorrow morning, and then I will let everybody know, like I said, by email. Mr. Aguilar, I know that doesn't help you very much, but your attorney can probably try to get that information to you pretty quickly. Mr. Hammonds, do you have telephone access to him?
I will talk to the librarian there, Judge.
Okay.
If they might be able to go get him and bring him to a phone. If not, she might be able to deliver a message immediately for me. So if not that, I'll certainly get a letter in the mail to him.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just try very hard not to make, really, really important decisions at the end of a very long day when everybody's tired. And I really just want to go back and reread all of my notes and make sure that I'm recalling and remembering everything that I need to before I make this decision. So I appreciate everybody's participation and everybody's patience, and I'll be in touch soon. So,
all right, thank you.
All right, we're in recess and everybody's free to go.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
You as well.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you sometime.
Okay.
Bye, Amy.
Judge, this is Amy. I'm here, but I'm not going to turn my video on.
That's fine, Ms. Taylor. I spoke with Ms. Katie earlier, so sorry you're under the weather.
Thank you. Apparently it's pretty rampant.
Yeah, but I appreciate you jumping on to do this for us. I really do. Mr. Hammonds, good morning. Are you good for a couple of minutes?
I am.
Okay. All right. I knew you had to be down in Randall County for something else, so.
Actual long story, but I do not have to be there.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. Excuse me. All right. Thank you to everybody for jumping on with such short notice. I'm just looking to see, I think we've got most everybody here, so great. All right. I'm going to recall cause numbers 9. We have completed our testimony in this case, and I'm prepared at this time to render my ruling. And as opposed to doing this through email, I felt like it was best to get everybody back together and do this just in the event if there's some questions. Mr. Nowak, I know your client is not present, and obviously Mr. Aguilar, Mr. Hammonds, he is not present. I know it didn't give enough time certainly to have your client brought in, but anyway, I appreciate both of you logging in. We are recording this. Not only is Ms. Taylor taking it, but I'm also recording to the Zoom cloud. So should either of you need that or want to get a copy of that to provide to your clients, just let me know. Okay, then present with us is Mr. Trout for the department, Ms. Zavala on behalf of the children, Mr. Nowak on behalf of his client, Cameron Shelton. Ms. Stotts is present with her attorney, Mr. Morales, and Mr. Hammonds is present on behalf of his client, Adam Aguilar. All right, then I'm going to address these in separate cause numbers because my rulings are significantly different in each case. So I will take up cause in that case. I have found that Ms. Stotts and Mr. Aguilar have repeatedly acted recklessly with regard to these two children, from violations of the safety plans before this went to a legal removal, ongoing domestic violence between them where the children were placed at risk, and now the continued contact between these parents as a victim of that assault and the perpetrator of that assault. That contact is very concerning to me in light of what I would consider to be very serious criminal activity, criminal actions. Ms. Stotts has repeatedly demonstrated that she's not going to be protective of the children by allowing Mr. Aguilar to have contact with them when he wasn't even supposed to be having contact. And now she's declared that he's a great father, which is even more alarming to the court, particularly in light of the fact that this is a man who rammed a vehicle with the two children in it. And we're talking about very young children. Ms. Stotts has not done what she needed to do to mitigate the reasons for the removal and to reestablish visitation with the children. And essentially, I think she has consciously abandoned the children. The parents in this case have repeatedly acted against the best interest of these two children. And therefore, I find by clear and convincing evidence that it is in the best interest of Arrow and Egypt to terminate the parental rights between the mother, LaQuisha Stotts, and the children based on Texas Family Code, Section 161.001, subsection B1, the N and the O grounds, and the best interest, Texas Family Code 161.001B2. I'm going to adjudicate Mr. Aguilar this time as the father of Arrow in Egypt based on the genetic testing that we performed in the case, and I will establish the parent-child relationship between him and the children. I likewise find by clear and convincing evidence that it's in the best interest of Arrow in Egypt to terminate the parental rights between Mr. Aguilar to those two children based on Texas Family Code 161.001, subsection B1, the N, O, and Q grounds, and best interest, Texas Family Code 161.001, B2. All right, in cause number 9, the court finds that there's a very different situation in that case between the parents of this child and their ability to someday, hopefully, co-parent that child. But both parents still have a whole lot of work to do They need to demonstrate a drug-free lifestyle. They need to demonstrate stable home lives, which would include housing, jobs, and transportation. Therefore, in that case, I'm going to name the department as the permanent managing conservator of Indiana. And I will name Ms. Stotts and Mr. Shelton as possessory conservators of the child. So just to be clear, there's no termination of parental rights on Indiana. Ms. Stotts and Mr. Shelton are going to be ordered to pay child support based on minimum wage, considering all guidelines in the Texas Family Code. By that, we all know that Mr. Shelton has another child. I don't know if he has any others. That was never discussed, but I know of at least one. So we need to obviously take that calculation into account. I'm going to order that each of them will pay $50 a month in medical support for the benefit of the child. The children, and I apologize, I'm going to direct this support to the grandmother, Ms. Walker. Indiana is going to remain placed with the maternal grandmother, Ms. Walker. Ms. Stotts will have supervised visitation by the St. Francis or the department with the child once a week for 2 hours until further order of the court. Mr. Shelton will have supervised visitation, same being by the department or St. Francis, with the child once a week for 1 hour until further order of the court. Ms. Stotts is ordered to successfully complete her intensive outpatient treatment program that she's currently enrolled in. She's ordered to maintain stable housing, employment, and to obtain and maintain her own transportation. And she will submit to random drug testing as requested. Mr. Shelton is also ordered to undergo an OSAR evaluation and successfully complete all recommendations from that evaluation. He will maintain stable housing, employment, and obtain and maintain his own transportation. And he will submit to random drug testing as requested. Mr. Shelton will engage in family counseling with Indiana. And I will dismiss all attorneys in the Aguilar case with the exception of Ms. Zavala, who will remain as the children's attorney, guardian ad litem. In the Shelton, Stott Shelton case, all attorneys will remain in that case until further order of the court. We will have our first review in that case on April 24th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Counsel, as always, be mindful that your de novo time frame begins to run as I've rendered in court today. And also, if you're instructed to file a notice of appeal, please do not do that until the final orders are signed and adopted by the referring court in both of these cases. Ms. Stotts, since you're here, I'm going to address you, and if the fathers were here, I would address them as well. But you all have made some serious mistakes in your behaviors and how you've raised your children. You know, this isn't meant to be punitive. I just believe that it's in the best interest of Arrow and Egypt to remain where they are right now and for St. Francis to continue to pursue the legal risk placement that was found for them. I never like separating siblings, and I rarely do it. But when I do, it's because there are very different situations for the children. I just can't get past the best interest prong of my decision on Indiana. I think it would be devastating to her to be moved from family and from your mother's home at this point in time. I think she's made some progress there. I think it's been a journey, and it's been I think it's been a battle, but it does sound to me like maybe we're making some progress, and I just could not get past best interest with respect to Indiana to terminate. So you and Mr. Shelton have got an opportunity here, and you all can turn this around, and I hope that you will. But you both need to finish doing what we've expected you to do in this underlying case. And those are going to be required continuing services in the case moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
No, Judge.
Judge, the
All
only
right.
question I have is, will you send that out in writing just so I make sure I get everything in? I think I got it all written down, but I could have missed something.
I'm getting ready to dock it.
Okay.
I have it all prepared. I just haven't
Yes,
sent it
ma'am.
to
Okay.
the Odyssey yet, but as soon as we wrap up here, I'm gonna docket it and send it. So the case
Okay.
will be docketed, and then as soon as we get orders, I'll sign those and they'll get delivered to the referring court for signature. So
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
okay. And I'm happy. I think you all can get on and see it. If anybody needs, we can always email it to you. So,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. Ms. Stotts, best of luck to you. I'll see you back in April. All right. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. And Amy, thank you. I really appreciate you hopping on, especially when you're not feeling well.
Thanks, Judge. I'll see you next week.
All right. Okay. My regular